always willing to learn, is very teachable. So the person who's going to respond, Gamalaki Thandikhaya Mabenge, he holds a BTEC Cost and Management Accounting and National Diploma in Cost and Management Accounting, both from NMU. He's a financial manager for building construction and civil engineering company for the past 7 years up until now. We're going to welcome him on stage, and he is more than welcome to come up if he's in the audience. I trust that he's here, and he can come up and just give his response. You can take a seat there, sir.
Thank you very much, Narako, for the nice introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be invited and to speak on this book launch, Ka Olwam. I don't know why Olwam chose me, but I think he sees something in me that I do not, and it boosts my confidence, I must say. Chair, I've read many leadership books, and most of them, to be honest, I don't really relate to them. But this one, I relate easily. Maybe because I had the privilege of knowing the author, and we had these conversations before we were actually documented. And maybe that's why I can easily relate with it. Maybe it's also biased because we are a friend of mine also. While reading the book, Chair, there was, I think, the first 2 chapters that captured me. And my response is going to be based on those, in fact, in that chapter, and how you describe what is a leader. Because it's difficult to read that description that you gave and not interpret it in the current context in our country and in our region, especially with the current developments that are currently happening in the Nelson Mandela Bay region. Some would say, maybe I want to fulminate. And yes, I think this is the best platform for us to rant and to critique our current leadership. I just want to quote what captured me into this chapter. I think it's chapter 2, Leading and Pioneering. I'm going to read what captured me. It says, leaders are people who are tasked with pointing the way and showing us the route to the journey we are taking. Their primary function is to get us to elevate the status quo, but do so in a peaceful manner that the group is kept intact and sustained. Is our current leadership emulating the type of leaders that Olwam is describing in this book? For me, honestly, I would say it's a no. Because I don't think they emulate what Olwam is describing as a leader. There is this part where it says, their primary function is to get us to elevate the status quo, but do so in a peaceful manner that the group is kept intact and sustained. I'm sure many of us feel like the current leadership, it's some sort of cliques. And most of us are left behind and we are left to fend for ourselves. Yet we got people that we call leaders. I'll make an example with Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, the chop and changes that is happening. Do we really think that what is currently happening there is to lead us, the people, to the promised land, as Olwam described what leaders do to the so-called followers, I would say, or subordinates in the corporate environment? Are they doing that? No. What we are seeing here currently in this region, I think it's a prototype of what is to come in the next election. Nelson Mandela Bay, and I think Joburg also, they are facing the similar thing, that there's a chop and changing of leadership. Are these people really representing our interests as people? Are they the ones that are taking us to the promised land? My answer is no. The other big elephant in the room is ESCOM. We are so fortunate that we were not part of the interruption today of load shedding. We've got the ESCOM board and the CEO and the CFO that are leading ESCOM. And I strongly feel that they are taking us back, because what we're currently experiencing is no one seems to take accountability. And we've seen the president rushing back from the United States to come and try to solve what was happening. What needs to happen with this type of leadership that we have? This is the question that I'm asking myself, and honestly, I do not have answers. But my opinion is that there needs to be a new revolution of new leaders to try and challenge the current leaders, because the current leaders do not emulate what is Olwam describing as a leader. So guys, these are rhetorical questions. You can answer on your own. And Olwam, it's just that it's fortunate that he has opened the conversation about the leadership and what type of leaders we need. So, Chair, the book is quite interesting for me, and I feel like you've put your life before us, because these are your life experiences that you're sharing with us. So I'm proud of what you have done. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Kaya, for that input and for the pointers that you put out. We talked about the municipality. I was like, so close to home. We covered a story last week. It is the longest story I've ever covered. 19 hours. I didn't sleep at all in council. That is the longest story I've ever done. We didn't close our eyes. We woke up the next day and they were still trying to elect a mayor. Sitting in one chair for 19 hours in the name of trying to elect a mayor. That's all I'm going to say. The book. Let's go back to the book. No, I'm just playing. I'm just really just. No, don't worry. I'm not about that life. I'm a journalist, not an instigator. Okay, so there's a part in the book that I really, really enjoyed a lot, where Olwam was speaking about pioneers. And you know, sometimes when you achieve greatness in life and you want to stay on the mountaintop, all of us get excited by achieving great things. And he said something that really like moved me. And after this question, after this statement, I'm going to take the questions to the audience where you can ask Olam literally anything regarding leadership. But I really enjoyed this part, especially as people that are, I think most of us are high achievers, goal-driven people. He said that pioneers don't stay too long in celebratory or accolade moods. They merely show up in as invited or break away from their efforts to succeed. But they then retreat to the hustle. Accolades and attained goals can be drugs to some people, knowingly or unknowingly. Your mind is not a mine, your mind is a mine and not a jewelry store. I really enjoyed that, just saying that no matter what you achieve, you've got to get away from the clouds and come back again and put your feet on the ground and remember what the goal is. And his primary goal above everything else is to serve. And I think also something else that I've really enjoyed about Olam, especially in terms of leadership, is that Olam, I'll put this in this clause, akathanda unyuka yedwa, which is I think something that we lack in leadership. Olam is about if you know something, if you know a skill, if you know someone that can link you to someone who can take you to where you want to go to, he'll